Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name is Bob, I'll be your host. And in this video I'm going to tell the story about my favorite D&D character of all time. Now this character I played in high school and a little bit after high school, I think. It's been some time. But this was in basic Dungeons and Dragons. And that's what we used to play all the time back then. Anyway, the character's name was Slash, and he was a fighter. And I played him under several different game masters. At the time, we didn't have very many players, so sometimes we play like a couple characters each. So there are times when I ran him under my friend Ian, as he was game master. There was times I used him as an NPC when I was game master, and then there was times I ran him under my friend Aaron when he was game master. That's just how we do. When we take our turn game mastering, our characters would become NPCs, so they'd still be part of the story. So anyway, Slash was a unique fighter. He was called an a-hole way more often than I would have liked, but that was just him. He was kind of a jerk. He's a type of character that believed that there is no problem out there that couldn't be solved with violence. The guy at the market won't heckle with you, punch him in the face. The drunk guy at the bar won't stop talking to you, punch him in the face. The town guard tells you can't run around town with your sword like that. You can tell him you'll do something about it. If he keeps on, punch him in the face. You'll probably have to leave town after that, but you get the idea. That's just how the character was. And he'd get everybody in trouble all the time. His alignment was technically chaotic, because in basic, they just used the basic lawful, neutral, and chaotic. But we went ahead and split up into good, neutral, and evil like they do in advanced. So my character was chaotic good. Anyway, Slash had a pretty long career. I think I only ever got him to 5th level, but we were doing a really slow progression. I played him for years. And that may seem horrible to a lot of people that he only made the 5th level in several years. But back then, we were just there to play. We didn't really care about the whole rest of it. But anyway, at one point, Slash had made himself a special sword. Special in the fact that the only thing special about it was he had magic runes written on it. These runes were very special. If I was in trouble, particularly with a magical creature that could read magic, i.e. a dragon, or a powerful magic user, I would butter them up, tell them how smart they are, how great they are, and if they could give me one last request and just read these magic runes to me so I know what my sword says before I die. Usually that would, well, not usually, but sometimes that would work. And they would read it, and what they would read is, if you can read this, you're dumber than I am. And usually in the confusion, I got an extra attack in before the actual combat started. A couple of times that happened. But anyway, he was that kind of character. Violent, not that smart, but cunning. And he loved to fight. So anyway, one of the people that he traveled around a bit was with another fighter named Shindown, played by one of my other friends. And Shindown was like a complete opposite of Slash. Shindown, if you could think of your regular stereotype for a bard, but apply it to a fighter, that was Shindown. Usually intoxicated and always trying to hook up with the ladies. We were in high school. What do you want? And anyway, there came this point where in our regular games we were running this side game that we were calling the disposable dungeon, where we each make up like 20 first level characters and try to take this place, this fort. And if people lived, and it was like a funnel before a funnel was a thing. But anyway, at one point we decided to try to run our regular characters through it, see what they could do. We did, and we actually took the place down. Lost several characters along the way. Slash made it through, but in it, when taking it, we wound up getting captured. Had a great escape using chair legs and stuff as weapons to bludgeon our way out. But on our way out, we ran into the person that was in charge of the place, and we captured them and was questioning them. But they were doing the thing, oh, I'm not answering your questions, you fell. So, Shindown, since it was a lady, Shindown said, I will speak to her alone, and we let Shindown talk to her by himself. And he hit on her, and she denied him. So he killed her, and without us in the room, we couldn't stop him. We were pretty dumb for letting him do that, but, that's just the way it played out. The weird thing was, she knew my character's name, and none of us had ever let her in on our names. So I wound up going back later on and stealing her body and taking her body to a cleric so that he could use his spells so I could ask her 3 questions so I could try to figure out how she knew me. And the game master was actually being kind of a jerk. So didn't learn nothing. Not a single thing. Not even anything that was maybe useful for other reasons. So I left because I don't need that body no more. I left it behind. And then I thought, well, that's bad. I should get rid of that body so no one can track it to me. So when I went back, the cleric said it was not her time, and he resurrected her and sent her on her way. So shortly after that, there was a bounty put out on both my character and my friend's character for what we'd done, killing her and then being stupid enough to have her resurrected. So we had all these people after us because the bounty was huge. And during this time, my friend's character found this ring of wishing. And he made several weird wishes on it. One of those wishes was that he would be exonerated of all crimes. And so his name was promptly taken off all the bounties because everybody forgot that he was the one that actually killed her. And my character was now solely focused as having committed all the crimes. So had a pretty good run. But they eventually caught my character. They caught Slash. And they decided that he would be executed. But I was able to work things up so that it would be a trial by combat. If I could kill their chosen warrior, I would be let free. But if not, I'd die in combat. Alright. Well, it was not a very fair combat. The warrior they had was this woman that was many levels above me. She had all this magical gear and equipment. They took all my gear and equipment and replaced it with this really crappy, rusted, chip-nick equipment that actually had negatives to it because it was so poorly cared for. Alright. Well, I'm in combat. I'm getting ready to do the combat. And they said, we will give you one last request because we are great people. And so I look out in the audience and I saw Shindown out there. I said, okay, I want him to fight by my side in the same situation I am. They're like, okay, but this backfired on me because one of the other wishes Shindown used was that he would be completely irresistible to women. And what this meant was anytime he ran into a woman, a female character or NPC, and if he would hit on them, they would have to make a saving throw or they would fall in love with him. Crap. So that was kind of interesting sometimes because it also worked on non-human races. You ever go adventuring with somebody who the female goblins and orcs and trolls and stuff keep falling in love with them? It's kind of disturbing. Anyway, their warrior failed her saving throw and fell in love with him and could not hurt him. So she, as gently as she could, rendered him unconscious so she could focus everything on killing my character. It was worth a shot. Well, the shield was busted that they gave me. It was falling apart anyway. My sword was broken in half. And finally, she cut my character down. And that should have been the end of Slash. But it wasn't. The Game Master decided there was still more story here. So there was this assassin that was trying to go straight. And he decided that Slash would be his instrument to do so. And he had stolen Slash's body and had him resurrected. And told Slash that he had to be good from now on. So I had a slight alignment change. Wasn't thrilled about that, but what can you do? So anyway, now that Slash is being good, he decided he needed to change his name to hide further. And in his brilliance, he decided that his name is now Bash. Real brilliant. So he continued adventuring for some time after that. Did some neat things. But eventually we moved on to other games. And Vampire the Masquerade took up a lot of our time. So never really got to finish Slash's storyline. But hopefully my story gives you some ideas you can do if you're interested in running an OSR type game. And also lets you know that OSR games actually did have a lot of story to them. Yes, there's a lot of adventuring, but it's a lot of story too. So thank you for listening to my story about my favorite D&D character of all time. And hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.